Tough loss for the Falcons today, guys, but win or lose, we're going to have you covered with all the Falcons content that you need. So be sure to go down, hit that big red subscribe button, and subscribe to Falcons Today. That was brutal, guys. 35-17 lost the final score in Cincinnati. I am Will Scott. Welcome to Falcons Today. We are reacting to an abysmal performance from Atlanta today against the Bengals. Disappointing performance from both the offense and the defense. Really nothing going for the Falcons in this game. Marucs Mariota, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 of 13. We'll talk more about his performance in a second. I'm going to rant a little bit about the way he played today. Just 16 carries, just 50 rushing yards for Tyler Algier. However, he did have his first career touchdown. Bird had that 75-yard touchdown. That was a majority of the passing from Mariota in this game, passing yards, I should say. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow went off over 450 yards in this game. Didn't want to mention some injury news here, though, before I get into more about the individual performances. Jalen Hawkins is in concussion protocol. We'll continue to keep you posted on him. He left the game and did not return. A.J. Terrell, who's been a little bit banged up the last week or two, left the game with a hamstring injury. The secondary today had an abysmal performance. Obviously, Terrell not being out there for some of that did not help. Michael Rothstein, who covers the Falcons, provided an update saying that Falcons head coach Arthur Smith said they have to wait on imaging on CB's cornerbacks A.J. Terrell's hamstring injury. No update other than that. So hopefully nothing serious there for Terrell. He's obviously had a pretty disappointing season, so we'll continue to keep you posted throughout the week on injury updates revolving him. But we'll talk about the Bengals first here, because Joe Burrow was a problem. Over 350 yards in the first half, and then he ended up having nearly 500 yards in this game, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Joe kind of looked a little bit sluggish the first couple weeks of the season. I think him not playing in the preseason contributed to that, but in the last week or two, he's looked like the Joe Burrow that we saw last year. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. I understand that Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, maybe a top 3 or 5 quarterback right now. But to allow 481 passing yards, yes, you're on the road, you're playing against one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's inexcusable from this Falcons defense, a defense that we thought was making some strides. They did not play well here today. Looking at Jamar Chase now, he had 130 yards. 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns for Chase. Believe it or not, he wasn't the leading receiver. Tyler Boyd was the leading receiver. So you allowed Jamar Chase to go for 130, and you allowed Boyd to go for 150 yards. They combined for 16 receptions, combined for 3 touchdowns. I am so frustrated right now with this Falcons secondary. Yes, Terrell, he's banged up. Casey Hayward, you lost him. There's no excuse for allowing that many yards through the air to the Bengals. Yes, they're one of the more dynamic, more explosive offenses in the league. That cannot happen. Taking a look here at the cornerback depth chart. Look, the Falcons right now are 3-4. I think you have got to trade for a corner at the deadline. Some people might say, well, the Falcons, they have a losing record. They're going to be sellers. The Falcons should have a winning record right now, right? Most of their losses have been close. Today, obviously not the case. You got to trade for a corner. Casey Hayward might not be back anytime soon. I don't really see a world where he comes back in the next 3 weeks. I understand that he can't come off IR in 3 weeks. That's not going to happen. A.J. Terrell's banged up. Even when he's been healthy, he's not played well. Darren Hall struggled today as well. And I'm very concerned about the secondary moving forward. You have to improve the secondary here at the deadline. Guys, give the Falcons a grade in their Week 7 loss. Type A, B, C, D, or F. I'm typing F, man. Professor Scott is putting on his professor cap here and is spamming F down the comment section. This was a terrible performance from start to finish. The Falcons get down 21-0. This game was over by halftime. It was an absolute joke performance today. Arthur Smith, man, you got to do something. You got to look. And honestly, I think Arthur Smith has done a good job coaching this year. But in terms of the defense, I'm very concerned about the defense going forward. And the offense as well. I'm concerned about a lot. Taking a look now at how Joe Mixon did. I mean, at least you limited him a little bit. He's not who beat you today. Joe Burrow beat you. Jamar Chase beat you. Tyler Boyd beat you. 17 carries, 58 yards, 1 touchdown for Joe Mixon today. He got involved, not as involved as I actually thought. So they did the run defense was okay. Not great, but it did fine. Again, the final 35-17 here. You go to Cincinnati, a big game, 2 3-3 teams. The Falcons very much in the mix when you're talking about the division. Buccaneers lost today as well. That's worth noting. So the Falcons, still, toward the top of that division. Marucs Mariota with one of his worst performances of the season. 8 of 13, 124 passing yards, had about 36 rushing yards, I think. 1 touchdown, no picks. But the 75-yard touchdown, you have that. So outside of the 75-yard touchdown to Bird, Mariota had 46 yards the rest of the game. Producer Nick Roloff, I think you would agree that's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke, the passing offense today in this win. Algier, 16 carries, 50 yards. I like Algier a lot. He scored his first career touchdown today, so that's great. But the offense today was just a joke. What's not a joke is this deal from BetUS. You can go to chatsports.com/betfalcons. If you put in that promo code and you put in $100 into your account, you're going to start with $225 in your account because we're giving you a 125% deposit bonus. Go and take advantage. It's a great deal, and you can bet on the Falcons all year long. And let me tell you, like I said, they're still this division is sad. This division is sad. The Bucs and the Falcons right now tied at the top with a 3-4 record. If you'd have told me the Falcons were going to be tied with the Bucs for 7 games, I would have taken that. I don't know if I'd have taken 3-4, but I certainly would have taken that. The Panthers and the Saints, 1 game back at 2-5. So this might be a division where I don't know, maybe a 9-8, 8-9 team wins the division. I think the Bucs will turn things around, and hopefully the Falcons can be right there with them at the top when the season is over. When I look at this game for Atlanta, I look at a football team that was not well coached. The Falcons got out-coached today. They got outplayed on both sides of the ball. Didn't think the offensive line did a good job either. Algier, again, 50 yards on 16 carries. But I'm very disappointed. And I knew this game was going to tell us a lot about the Falcons. You go on the road. You're taking on the defending AFC champs. You're taking on one of the better quarterbacks in the league in Joe Burrow, one of the better offenses in the league, and you absolutely lay an egg in Cincinnati. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, don't leave until you give us a like. Go down, hit the thumbs up icon. I know you did not like the performance today from Atlanta, but hopefully you at least liked our little recap here. We're going to continue to keep you posted throughout the week on injury updates. We're going to have analysis. There's going to be a lot to kind of digest after that really bad loss. So be sure to go down, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys want more content here before the Falcons Week 8 game next week.